Alright, let's go over this problem. Deja needs to find the height of a building. Here's a building. From a given point on the ground, here's the ground. From a given point, here's my first point. The top of the building is 74.2 degrees. The angle of elevation is 74.2 degrees. She then walks back, so from this point, walking back 35 feet. From this point to this point is 35 feet. That angle of elevation is 51.8 degrees. Find the height of the building. So in this problem, you should have labeled something like Dave said add a variable like y. And then you're finding the height of the building. So when you separate your triangles, you have these two triangles. Here's your first triangle. H, Y, 74.2 degrees. Then the second triangle that you have is H and then Y plus 35 and 51.8 degrees. So I'm going to solve this triangle in terms of H and then use that answer over here. So I'm starting with this angle. Tangent of 74.2 degrees equals the H over the Y, opposite over the adjacent. If I multiply or cross multiply, I have Y times tangent of 74.2 degrees equals H. Now, I can use this at the very end because if you think about it, I need to solve for H, but once I get Y, I can just multiply my answer by 74.2 degrees. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing. I have the opposite over the adjacent. I have tangent of 51.8 degrees equals H over Y plus 35. This expression you can put in parentheses if you make sure you don't break it apart until the appropriate time. I'm going to put this over 1, and then I'm going to cross multiply. H equals tan 51.8 degrees times Y plus 35. I'm going to go ahead and solve for, I'm going to distribute here. So I get H equals tan 51.8 degrees times Y plus tan 51.8 degrees times 35. Now that's going to become a constant, isn't it? So I have H equals tangent of 51.8 degrees times Y plus, I'm just going to calculate that now, so I have 35 times tan 51.8, I get 44.48. What do you think I should do next? I can set them equal to each other. You recognize how they're both equals to H. So I'm going to take this. Every time I see H, I'm going to write Y times tan 74.2. Here's H. I'm going to write Y times tangent 74.2. And I'll just repeat this. I'm going to get the y's together. So this is a positive expression, so I'm going to subtract it from both sides. Those will cancel, so I'm left with y tan 74.2 degrees minus y tangent 51.8 degrees equals 44.48. I'm going to factor out a y as my GCF. Tangent of 74.2 degrees minus tangent of 51.8 degrees equals 44.48. This is multiplication. I'm going to divide this tangent 74. Now you cannot subtract the angles. Do not do 74.2 minus 51.8 and then take the tangent. That would have been incorrect. These are called the difference identities of tangent. Do that to both sides. And you get a y value. Put that in the calculator. 44.48 divided by tangent of 74.2 minus the tangent of 51.8 close parentheses. I get 19.65. Now class, is 19.65 the height of the... Is that the height of the building? No, it's not. You take it over here and multiply by tangent of 74.2. Multiply by tangent 74.2. Raise your hand if you got about 69.5. So our height is approximately 69.5 feet, and that is the ultimate answer. So again, I took 19.65, which represents just this part right here, and then I'm substituting in my y here to find my height.